some of the profile information. So let's bring in a text box here. And here we go, text box. Bring that in, put that in there, and let's just give it a label. In this case, we're going to call this username for the first one, and we'll just put a little space in there. Now we're going to copy that because we're going to do 1, 2, 3 more, and we'll just do a little editing here. This one will have the GMT. This one's going to have the latitude, and this one's going to have the longitude. Let's just rename the text boxes to txt username, txt GMT, latitude, and longitude. Then let's go down here and create another little paragraph, and in here what I want to put is a couple buttons. So let's just create an ASP BTT button. There we go, and let's just call this one button clear. That equals server, and the text of this one will be clear. And let's just copy that. We want to put 2 more buttons. There we go. Copy it. Paste it in. The second one is going to be called button load. And the third one, last one, is going to be called button save. Change the text here to load profile and save profile. Now let's go over here to our code behind. And the first thing we want to do is override the onload event. And there it is. And what we want to do here is take the profile object, and we want to test to see if it is anonymous. And if it is, just remembered we want to put one more thing over here in our page. And right up here above the username, let's just add a label. And we'll add an ASP label here, and ID equals run at equals server. There we go. Now we'll go back over here to our code behind, and what we want to do here is take that label and the text of that label. If we are anonymous, we're going to put yes, and then if we're not anonymous, to put no. Then we're going to take the username text box and we're going to assign the username from the profile to that. Okay, let's go back over here to our page. We'll just go into the design mode, and we want to set up an event handler for the click event for each one of these buttons. And in the clear, we're just going to take the text box and set that equal to string.empty. And we're going to take the latitude and set that to string.empty, and the same thing with the longitude. Then we're going to go down here to our load, and we're going to take the profile, and we're going to take our GMT text box, and we're going to set it equal to the GMT value from the profile. Same with the latitude and the longitude. And the longitude. And in our save, we're going to do the reverse. We're going to take the profile, and we're going to take the GMT value or property in the profile, and we're going to assign the GMT text value, and the same thing for the latitude. And the longitude. Then the last thing we're going to do here is add a simple login page. So let's just add a new item here, and we'll call the page login. And we'll go here to our toolbox, and we're going to get a login control. There it is. And we're going to put that right here on this page. Just remembered one little mistake over here in our code behind. We got tab index instead of text. Let's just correct that. Also remember that we didn't put the call the save method over here in our save click event. So let's put that in here. So we're saving the profile after we're done. Okay, we should be all set to test out our sample website here on our profile provider. Let's start it up without debugging. And we initially are not logged in, so we're an anonymous user. We're given this GUID as our username. Let's put in some values here. Let's put 1, just 2, and 3 quite quickly. And then this button will save the profile back to the database. Let's just do that. Here we'll clear out the profile information. We'll keep the same username, so when we click load profile, it should load in that information back again, as it does. Now let's log in, and I've set up one user in the database already and the membership provider called test user. Password exclamation point, which I'll put in the README file. We'll log in. Now we're logged in as that user. When we load the profile here, we should get the profile information that was previously stored in the database when I created this user. And we do. It's also 1, 2, 3. So let's just prove that this really works here by changing these values. We'll save the profile. We'll actually log out to go back to the anonymous user, load their profile. It's still there. We'll go back. We'll log in as the test user. And now we're back as, whoops, wrong password. Let's try that again. There it is. Test user, let's load their profile, and there are the values that we just entered. So we're saving our profile information here by invoking these buttons. You could use other means to save the profile data whenever you wanted it to. And it's important to note here that we have set this up so we're saving both the profile for anonymous users that visit the site as well as authenticated users. Just to finish up with this, let's go over to that SQL Server database here. And I've opened up the profiles and the profile data tables. Here's our test user that was there before we started. Let's refresh this, and now we'll see our anonymous user is in here as well. Let's go over to the profile data, and we have here the old profile data. We'll re-execute that, and there is the profile data for both our anonymous and our test user. So in summary, to create a custom profile provider, we created a class library project, Profile Provider Sample. In it we had one class that inherited from the required base class of Profile Provider. We then implemented the logic for all the required abstract methods from the base class. Once we were done with our provider, we created a sample website to test it out up here. We installed the provider by adding some elements to the web.config file and then created a simple interface for testing, loading, and saving of the profile information. There's quite a bit of information in this video on how to create a custom profile provider, so I encourage you to download the sample source code and look at it in detail. This is Chris Pells. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video on how to create a custom profile provider.